Hey everyone, Kevin here. I am sure you have all heard the old and tired expression of be the smartest person in the room at some point. And especially while you're in education, where we tend to treat people who aren't with disdain because we demonize failure and celebrate successes. Standardized testing has only exacerbated that over the last few decades, too, which is why the data they provide is largely meaningless and a terrible measuring stick to judge anyone's progress, teacher or student. Many places continue to do this into adulthood too, but I wanted to tell you something really important today, particularly my transitioning teachers out there. You should never be the smartest person in the room. And if you have reached the point where you are indeed the smartest person in the room, then you need to find a new room. As we continue to grow and upskill in our lives, we need to challenge ourselves and find people to learn from, else we become stagnant and complacent. And you let this go on long enough, you run the risk of feeding your own ego by thinking you are the smartest person at your company and end up surrounding yourself with yes people or sycophants who feed that ego even more. You need a great deal of self awareness when this occurs and the strength of will to avoid it happening by realizing that you need to look toward the next challenge. I always refer to an example here which illustrates this conversation really well. Concert musicians and vocalists who pursue those careers will have multiple music instructors throughout their lives. At a certain point, they have learned all they can from one and need someone new to push them farther or develop a weak area that the first instructor couldn't. That isn't a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength and growth. The saying in regard to this is that you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with, and find that pretty accurate. Over time, you start to adopt the habits of the small group you are closest to and surround yourself with people who have similar political, economic, social, and moral values. That might be a natural thing to do, but if you stay in that comfort zone forever, then you aren't going to grow. Same if you are always the smartest person in the room, because then everyone just asks you questions instead of you asking others questions. Meeting smarter people who know more about certain things than us is crucial for growth, particularly for those out there changing careers. I constantly tell teachers leaving education this during coffee chats and help sessions too. Your classroom experiences are great and you know a lot of important stuff, but you need to learn more to successfully transition. Many former teachers get frustrated about this, but as I said in an earlier episode, admitting you need to learn more doesn't discount the skills and knowledge you already possess. It shows self awareness and a realism that we are lacking in a lot of society these days. Even as an ID who did transition out of the classroom, there are still so many things about portfolios, authoring tools, and visual design that I don't know, or at least could improve on, and I occasionally seek out others that can help me grow those abilities within myself. Others come to me for things I'm good at, and I teach them as well. This isn't a competition about who is smartest. It is a collaboration of people who are smarter in other areas. There are no dumb questions, only dumb assumptions. Identify things you want to improve and seek out ways of doing this. So, here's some examples of how to do that. Attend seminars, conference, trainings, and professional development sessions with people you look up to or on topics that you're interested in. Number two, continue having coffee chats and meetings where you talk with people in your field to learn something new. Teach them something you know too. This isn't a transactional relationship either. That's a mature relationship. Number three, you can also find a mentor to help guide you moving forward. And it is okay if you have more than one, like the musician's example I gave earlier. Do your research and find someone that can add meaningful experiences and knowledge to your life. And number four, overall, just build your network. On LinkedIn, don't look at your connections solely as an avenue to finding a job. Look at them as a wealth of untapped information and experience. We should always be in motion. and never end up in a situation where we don't try and find new creative outlets or things to learn from. That is why so many of us left teaching too. Our administrators were often stagnant, thought of themselves as superior, and never listened to our suggestions or concerns to the point that we couldn't be creative anymore. Don't be like they were. Be the person who asks questions, not just the one who wants to answer them. And as always, I'm here to help you do just that. See you next time.